Hey everybody, gonna do this one right at the border of the timeline here for the day, and gonna knock out Pumyra from the Thundercats as a quick coloring piece, and I'm gonna be doing it with Copics. So hope you guys are cool with it. I'm gonna share this over with the page and the feed real quick so we can get that down, and then bam, there we go. Yay! Okay, cool deal. Gonna be knocking this one up pretty quick. Got got a 00, an E00 for this one because she's rather pale complected until it gets into her other colors of the eyebrows and the face and neck tone under the jewelry and whatnot. This is just going to be a bright, pale rose flesh color. Very cool. Very, very cool color. I love this color because it's almost transparent. So when it dries, it tends to look really like skin because it leaves faded spots in the ink, which I really dig, but still gives saturation to where it coats. So, but it gives fluctuations. So I really, really dig it. Have a blast with it. I want to get this one done so that I can get the other couple of Thundercats done and get that set ready for the sketchbook and get it out the door, you know? So get it out the door. But, yep. And I don't have to be super careful with these because this one is an undertone anyway, and it's so light and soft, and Copics give such a really cool forgiveness to the color. I don't really have to mess with this one too much. So just gonna knock it out real quick. No big deal. Get the front of the ear here. And that was something I found amusing about her. She had like really, really big ears. Of course, I guess pumas do too. So it tends to work out, but we'll do the arm first. Why not? And the funny thing is when the card gets wet, it becomes transparent with this color, so you can see right through it and see all the colors and stuff. This one gives it full saturation for some reason. Hey man, you kicking out your chili? Johnny Pine came on. He's Johnny Pine is making chili tonight. So yeah, I've known Johnny for a while now. Crazy dude. Crazy dude. So we're going right in here with the chest open. And a lot of people like to do that weird crossover tunic that she wears, but I like the original where she first arrived and she had that the open shoulder tunic and it went across this way, and it had more of the princess of the Pandera type of thing. I think that's, yeah, Thunder actually. Boy, I'm tired. Thunder, cross Panthera and Panda. That's interesting. Just made a new planet for them. That's cool. Yeah, I want to use this one on the face. I don't want to go. Thundera, thank you. Take away my geek card. I want to get the edge of this eye too because it has an eyeliner type of thing going on underneath her eye. I want to carry that over a little bit. Get that war paint look. But no, the I always thought that cool because that was cool because when they came in, she was supposed to be some kind of offsuit princess or something for Lionel. And then they turned them into refugees at the last minute because they didn't want to have to explain how Lionel would be romantic when he was supposed to be in a 13-year-old spirit in a grown man's body. Awkward. So they changed it. But, yep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this dark brown and go over the hair, because, or the E99. That's the one I wanted, because it's got a cocoa color to it, or a chocolate color, almost a caramel type of thing going on. And that's the one I wanted to grab onto. Now I'm just going to do just barely the tips down at the bottom like this for the white, because I didn't want to go full on, you know. Some people like to do the full out white tips. I like to make them more like a fox tip kind of thing going on, where it comes down this way and does this kind of number. So whatever. But anyway, I see this all the time. This color in Thundercat drawings on DeviantArt and in all kinds of stuff, man, just everywhere. It's a popular color for her hair, and I like to run it right together with that and keep that theme, because it's a really popular look. So, and it works. Beside the point that it works, that's really cool. Because most of the time, if you're not a traditionalist and you're not like hardcore true to the core material, people freak out a little bit on some of these. Got a lot of feedback on the Joker. Oops, I bled over there just a bit. I'll have to fix that. But I got a lot of that with the Joker in the couple of incarnations that I did, because I was trying to find my style a while back with it, because, you know, the Joker's got a distinct look, and if you don't pull it off in your style, it looks weird. And if you overdo it in the style that he's known for, then you overwork it and it looks like you're copying someone else, and that sucks. Especially most commonly Jim Lee for that, because that's the most popular Joker out there, which is kind of sad, because there's a lot of better varieties out there. Not to say Jim's work is bad at all. I'm a fan. I like Jim's work, but what I'm saying is that there are a lot better incarnations of the Joker that get away from that particular look, because it burns it out after a while, you know, when everything looks the same. And you don't want to have that problem. So, but no, I think I found a unique look with it. And I'm going to grab a 3 here, because I'm going to go over that line right there, and then this one right over here with the hair, where I shot over just a little right there. Just curve it down, boom, done deal. Are you erasing it? Are you getting the extra graphite out of the ink? You got to run a, Javier, you got to run a, I appreciate you coming on, man. You got to be sure and run an eraser, like a good rubber eraser, over the plastic, actually, not rubber, but plastic. This will get it off. That's the reason I have eraser dust all over the place all the time, because of these plastic erasers, because they roll it up. Just be sure and clean your eraser good, though. You know, just do this number, and it'll get that black off there. So since I'm doing it on a purple page, it's time to pick it up. But I'll do it on the white real quick. See, it cleans the eraser. Clean your eraser really good first, and then go over this, over your line work, and pick up the extra graphite that's under it, and it'll help. So That's a big thing, man. Catch your graphite that's in there, and it won't do that. Because it's the graphite that's sucking up the ink, not necessarily the ink. You'll see me catch it once in a while where I miss a spot, and it'll go gray. So, sorry, I was fighting a yawn there. Haven't been having a great day today. That was funny. But yeah, try to erase your image a little better with a plastic eraser so it'll burn off. And also use a gum eraser, a gray gum eraser. They're really, I don't have one handy, but they're really gummy and like a putty eraser. Use one of those as well, and pat as you go along with your pencils and pick up the extra graphite. And then when you ink it, go in and erase everything so that you can get that out of there, you know, after you've inked it. Let it set for about 10 minutes, and then go in and ink it all the way through after you pat it down, and then go through after your ink's dry for about another 10-15 minutes. Give the big blacks about 20 minutes to set, depending on your content and material, and then go for it and knock that out as well. So it just depends and varies on the source material. But for the most part, for me, I like to use just about anything and have no problem with it. If you get runners, it's because you have graphite in the ink or your ink isn't set. It's one of those two factors. Because if your graphite's on there and you ink over it, all the ink does is suck up into the graphite, and then it makes kind of a putty or a crystal stack sitting there waiting for you to touch the edge of it, and then it rehydrates and then it runs out into the wet ink. That's why that does that. And it will do it religiously every time. So be sure your ink is set well. I didn't realize, but there's like 20 browns on here. I did not realize that. I'm going to grab another. I'm going to grab an orange or a darker yellow here. Yeah, that'll work. I want to go at something here just a little bit darker to bronze this up a little bit. Doesn't take much. And I'm going 80s style here, so it's not going to be much of anything. Just a couple of colors. And then when it sets in, it'll look closer to what it's supposed to for that. Wow, she's got a pasty lip. That's the first time I've had to do that in a while. She has a super light, warm looking lip. I think I'll go with this E11. Or maybe this, let's try this E93 first, which is more of a rose color. I think that'll work better for the lips here. Cool deal. That worked perfectly for what I needed. Because she's got like a baby doll pink lip, which is kind of strange for a cartoon, but whatever. And then we are looking at dark brown eyes. Okay, cool. I can handle that. I'm going to go in with an E13. Just as a different set of a brown to offset it. I don't need that white. Now, underneath here, I'm going to put in, oop, I need the brush tip. The wedge is too fine. So, I'm going in for the tear duct and the shadow of the eye. Right up underneath there, just like that. Because she's got that, that heavy brow look, so it'll come in from the bottom. It'll slant in that way. And most people would think it would go from the top, but if we're looking at her from this direction, it would be up here. If she was looking straight ahead, it would shade across the other from the curvature of her eye. But since the pupil is this direction, she's going to have all that going on. It's going to tilt the curve. So a little bit different there. And I'm going to bribe this one with a happy bright pink instead of just a regular offset color, which I would normally use. I'm going to use a bright, almost a highlighter type of pink here. I'm going to go in really close. And this will be her background right here. Oh. See, that's an example of what I was talking about right there. If you miss the graphite and then a color comes in, it'll turn it gray. It'll milk it down. You don't want to do that. But I do this sort of thing all the time, so whatever works. You got to be fearless to color these things like this. I'm just kind of swishing this back and forth to get a saturation out of it because this is a new tip. Because I don't really run around using pink a lot, so it's fairly full, and I'm breaking in that tip. Just every once in a while I turn it a little bit. Just don't want to snag the edge of that card, nor do I want to cut my tip. That if you cut a nib on the edge of one of these cards, it's horrible because it'll split your brush like nothing else. It is really awkward to see it split a brush. It is strange. I've watched it do that to some of my gray tones. I caught one time and went like this, and it split it right down the middle, and it looked like a snake's forked tongue. That was a sad day, I tell you. That was a vicious replacement too, because it was hard to get out because it split down the middle, and I was almost on the verge of spilling the entire charge out, which would have been awful because it was a brand new pin. So I got to replace a nib. Fun. And I wasn't very good at it at the time, so I had one of the girls at the art store help me because I wasn't very familiar with them. I had just gotten them maybe 2 months before, and I had split that tip, and I had to go to the art store and have one of the girls help me change the nibs because I didn't change them on these flat models, and they don't come out quite as easy. But one of the gals over there just took a pair of needleless pliers, grabbed it, popped it right out, grabbed the new nib and wedged it in there, and kind of grabbed it and gave it a twist, and it locked right into place. It was just the neatest thing. I was like, "You've done that a time or two." She's like, "Yep." So, but anyway. I'm going to take some of these darker browns and kind of toy with this a little bit. I thought I was going to push it a different direction, but I think I'm going to go in and kind of darken some of this up. Kind of make it pop a little more. I don't want to mess with it too much, just like right here. Around the eye a little bit. And that's going to be it. Yeah, I'm going to leave that alone because that looks good. Cool. Now, there you go. Pumyra. There she is, folks. Awesome. So, with that said, that's it for tonight. I'm going to keep it short and sweet because, like I said, we're right here at the midnight hour. So, I've got another page to ink after finishing up the Poji guys over at Poji Comics. I finished up their print, and if you're on with me, just to see what's happening, here we go. Very cool stuff. I'm very pleased with it. It came out solid. I've got it sitting for the rest of the night so that I can get the inks to set and make sure they're all nice and dry, and then I'm going to run it through the scanner and so it doesn't have the marks on it and all that mess, and it'll show up nice and clean. But anyway, I'll be back bright and early in the morning with another card. I'm going to try and do one before lunch tomorrow and start doing them at between noon and 3 depending on when I get the opportunity to do it. I'm going to lock in that couple hours there so I can pop on and do it. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. And hey, Sean, thanks for coming on, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Like I said, I am going to try to get on a little earlier and do a couple things because I've got podcasts coming out Thursday. As I keep talking about, I've got podcasts coming out on Thursday, and I've got another one coming out on an undisclosed time this weekend. Then I'm going to be moving into the webcomic coming up as well for Night of the Living Dead. So I've got to get this page inked so I can color it for you guys. And with that said, I will say at this point, good night. And as you inherited this big rock, remember, leave it better than the day you found it for the next generation coming after you. Take care.